Hi, my name is Catherine, and I'm talking today about a specific thing, which is Carl Jung's individuation process. Also, talking about how we can remove those emotional blockages that are inside of us and preventing ourselves from reaching our greatness. So, back in 2015, I went through awakening, spiritual awakening. I felt so lucky. I thought suddenly the doors opened and I was launched into this life which things made sense. I was so connected to nature. The flowers, the blades of grass, everything looked brighter and more beautiful. The bird song. Suddenly I was seeing the abundance around me and soaking it in. And I thought, that's it. I've got it all figured out now. And following my heart, I'd left my job overnight. I felt like my ego had been stripped away from me, and I thought that I had come through some sort of experience that led me to having a deeper understanding of the important things in life. But what I didn't realise was the awakening was just the start of the process. Now, this period of bliss lasted for quite a while, but then I got sucked back in to the machine of life and my people-pleasing ways, and I ended up becoming exhausted. I actually then ended up having going through a very difficult period of psychiatric, or they weren't sure, rheumatoid arthritis. So my mental state was affecting my physical body. I couldn't even pull my trousers up. My hands were in so much pain. So, although I had gone through the awakening, this was just the first bit. Now, in more recent years, last year it was exactly 10 years. And last year I have been going and am still in self-imposed isolation. That's not to say I don't see people. I do, but only very few. And I had gone through feelings of despair and darkness, but now I'm coming out of that. And it was only by reading Carl Jung that I realised I was going through the process of individuation. It was a relief, quite honestly, because I thought, what's happening to me? I'm not normally like this, but this period of isolation where you just look inward and you face yourself has been transformative. Now, this is what leads me on to how do we clear our blockages and our emotional challenges. So part of the individuation process that Carl Jung talks about, not only are you looking inwards and you're generally going through isolation, you are suddenly facing your shadow side, because the isolation puts you in a place where you're not being affected by outside sources. I was being affected by outside sources, but I literally barriered myself in. That's probably not even a word. Yeah. And I started to face my shadow side. So suddenly I was facing my fear of failure, my feeling of my lack of self-worth, all my people-pleasing traits, such as feeling responsible for everyone and feeling like I needed to give to everyone, not knowing who I was at all, because that had been lost a long time ago. So your triggers, how do you recognize what your triggers and your blockages are? So you recognize them by your emotional response to them. Okay? So for example, my older brother, he would say to me, you stick your head in the sand, if you can't handle something, you just won't face it, and you stick your head in the sand. And I could feel myself getting upset. But that's where you recognize the trigger. Why was I getting upset? I was getting upset because, yes, I do stick my head in the sand. So I was able to face that particular shadow side of myself. My fear of failure, constantly starting things and never seeing them through. I faced my shadow side by having the idea to start a YouTube channel and carrying it through. Like, I would always give up. Yeah? And this is, so if you are unaware of what your shadow side is or what your blockages are, all you have to do is become consciously aware of your reactions. And it's as simple as that. It really is. And once you've like clocked onto that, it's like a mental spring cleaning of yourself. You're like, right, okay, what's the next trigger? Until it's like a purging of all that darkness. You purge it away. And when someone triggers you, rather than feel cross, you think, oh, I got upset about that. Great, what's that telling me? Yeah, you're suddenly like realizing that your triggers are notifying you, alerting you of the parts of yourself you have to work on, and you're grateful for it. So you're grateful for being really cross that someone said that wasn't good enough, what you did, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, so that's how you look. And when you can face those and work through them, and you do that repetitively with all your shadow side, that is when you are like whole. So yeah, you might have scars and you have memories of things that have caused you pain and things that upset you in the past, but they are healed and they are just scars, and actually those things have given you strength and wisdom. Yeah, and then you face your shadow side, and then after that, the calmness, the inner peace, the strength. Yeah, I mean, obviously you do need to heal inner wounds, yes, and that is a process too. And if you look on my other videos, I think it's depression, but I think there is one about healing childhood wounds. There's a process that you go through where you allow yourself to feel the pain of what occurred, and by doing so you can heal yourself. So yeah, so when someone triggers you and you get upset and don't think think thank you, right? And now I know what I need to work on, and just keep doing it with every trigger that comes along. And then you come out, whoosh, the other end, all like sparkly and clean and purged of negativity, and it feels wonderful. Okay, that's it for today. My chat on my current experience of the individuation process, and yeah, I never could face uncertainty ever. If someone organised a surprise for me, rather than be happy about that, that would make me feel really anxious. But now I am facing a lot of uncertainty. But whereas the old me would be like, ugh, the new me is just ready to accept whatever falls into my path. It's great. So if you're going through this experience too, please let me know, because actually it would just be great to hear from someone who's also going through this process. Okay, please do comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.